Hi, welcome to round two of. Are we calling this crate tape again? Is that the
Yeah,
plan?
just call
I
it
think
Krayt tape.
All
so.
right,
Yeah,
crate tape it
I
is.
like Krayt tape.
So we got delayed because no one's available. So we're doing this with a smaller crew because no one's available again, and it's definitely not my fault. It's anyone's fault
It's
but
a
mine.
crack team of elite specialists.
True. So it's just me, Jeremy, and Paul today. But
Hi.
Hello.
yeah. Um, and we chose what's probably the least interesting game. I think the obstacle setup stuff is interesting, and we can talk about some list building stuff. But this, yeah, let's look at obstacle stuff. We can go into the why when we get there. Um, so I don't know how well you guys can see through the dice and everything, but this game was the one where I panicked because this is a Tobias Beckett chilling on Tel Trevera over there.
Oh, neat.
Huh.
And of all the people that care a lot about how obstacles are set up, due to reasons we'll see in a second, it's me because I'm fortressing in the corner, and if he puts an obstacle in a very specific place, I can't get out. So,
So you
um,
have to make both corners. Oh, but then Tobias
yes,
moves it after you
yep,
set up,
yes.
or
So the problem is if I set one in a corner such that you can't put one. You know what? I can draw here. All right. So let's say this is the range two corner line. Like it's something like this. It's not, but
Sure.
whatever, right?
Yeah, close enough.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's say I set up Fort. There's spoiler alert. Fort Chris is happening. So let's say it gets put here, right? So I need there to not be an obstacle here so that I can get out. So I'm right. I want to put one here.
yeah,
The problem is if I assume my opponent has a brain.
yeah,
Uh,
that's a really big assumption.
Fair assumption.
true. The second they see me corner 1-3-3 from the edge here, they have Tobias, so they get cool. They put it in this corner up here, right? They do this, and then once everything's done setting up, they take this and they move it here because I can't do anything about it.
Sure,
Right.
yeah.
So
But if they don't notice that, then you just set up a 3-3 on both edge,
and
and
we're good.
yeah,
So yeah, what side of that bet do you take, Paul? So
I don't trust people.
okay. So I I
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
same on
split
that.
the
I think
middle.
there's also some level of geometry you could do where you like put one not at 3-3, but I guess if you leave a hole to put two to block the one at the corner,
Yeah,
they
I'm
can just
trying
do
to
it
remember player
normally.
order. I'm pretty sure he has a bid 5 + 2 + 5. Sorry, two. Yeah, so he's running at 199. So
197. Yeah.
or something. Yeah, whatever. He chose player order. I don't remember how it ended up because we've already started setting up obstacles right at the start of this. So you can see one here. Is that set up? It must be in here. Um, so my thought process was if I'm putting like I don't get a vote. So if they know what's up and they want to corner things because they see all my medium bases, like I don't get a vote. So I might as well delay giving them the information that they want to corner things as long as possible, right?
Okay.
I don't know if that was correct or not. Like the just don't believe them strategy might have been better.
Because the
So
big thing is you're just worried about asteroids. Like the gas doesn't really matter to you.
right, yeah. If anything, I want gas clouds to be out and about so that I can hide
Yeah.
behind them from Bosk. But yeah, so let's see if we can. Okay, yeah. So this gets cornered.
There's the corner.
Yep. So there's so much compression here. I'm sorry. Okay, so I do this, right? Cool. And then that gets cornered over there, and this gets put here. Right, so he has every opportunity to totally trash me now. Uh,
Except it's just moving a gas cloud to the 2
Yeah,
2.
moving a gas
yeah,
to 3 to 2 isn't
it's
that
not a
bad, right?
yeah. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but yeah. So setup happens. So Fort Chris gets set up over here. Very cool, fun and
How
interactive
majestic.
experience. Okay, I'm very proud. D had some
D,
setup
the
thing.
ships are pointing the other direction. What's happening here?
Paul would be very
Come
mad
ask
at both of us.
the heroes on both sides,
Yep.
clearly.
So cool. And then there's Anakin. And all right, so
Look, see,
then
it's not a fortress because there's a ship that's going to be moving.
yeah, so we could tackle that next, but I just wanted to. I don't actually remember what happened with this Tobias, just that I was not sad about it.
We're going to find out. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, it got moved over there. Whatever. I
Okay.
don't care. Great.
So I guess the main thing is that D, because he's facing down like this, he wants to have as much of a wide space as possible to come loop around.
Yeah, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
get the so
My God, it's
they're
so cursed.
yeah they're the reason it's so cursed is Will is playing with the I'm super colorblind if you're not aware. So we were using my oh panic back up.
What happened?
Well, we
Get
just started
good.
moving stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm super like ultra colorblind. So I use dice that I can actually tell apart just to
Mm-hmm.
make life easier. But the camera chroma stuff wasn't set up for that. So the first little bits of the game, there's just to be a lot of weird color flashes as they're trying to get the like dice box
Oh, okay.
chroma key
I just
stuff
thought
set up.
this game in particular was just very crunchy.
I mean, this whole game's pretty scuffed, but yeah. So, real quick, I wanted to hit. So, going into LSO, we're gonna record a thing soon-ish about like the meta going into LSO, what we expected, played like practiced against, and accuracy and what's good and not, and blah 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 blah. But long story short, as should not be surprising, the one of the TLDRs is, hey, Bosk is pretty good, and even when you play a list like with what D is playing, which you know what is I'll take the heat on this one. This list is bad. This is not a good list.
Yes, yes. I mean, we're
There
going to
are
dance
better
around it the
Bosk.
whole time, but yes,
Yes.
this is a bad list.
Yeah.
This list is bad. So we
Yeah, if Teltravera was just a Fang fighter, that'd be fine.
yeah. Well, and then
Right,
Dace
like
were
this,
also
so-
a better.
There's,
Yeah.
there. I mean, we're gonna just collect the list real quick. There's basically there's a couple 5 Ys here, like the Dace Bone Arm Ion Cannon Thonkatecture is.
Yeah, well, Dace Bonearm's there just because he's cheap, right? I don't
Yeah,
think.
he's there because he's cheap and he lets you take Gleb and stuff like that. But I mean, we've already seen from this event alone, you could run Kaden, you could run Paylob,
Yeah.
and if you want points, I mean, Jesus, look at Teltarura.
Yeah, like if we want to say like the Tobias Beckett's just a bunch of wasted points. Where this Dead Man Switch on Bosk. Oh I saw him.
Baffle.
So, yeah, and right. So like, Baffle's more defensible, but right, like you have points here to get a real Hawk instead of Dace Bone Arm.
Absolutely.
And then
Well,
you have
it's
points to
like
get a real
Teltravera.
ship that's not named
Teltravera's cost.
Teltravera.
Teltarura costs more than Venral, and I'd rather have Venral.
Yep. But yeah, so
Yeah.
the reason I'm bringing all this up is so this gets pulled out, and I was like, oh, it's the bad scum list that won that thing. But then I see I see Deadman Switch come out on Bosk instead of False Transponders, which was like a oh thank God moment, right? Like well, like Anakin doesn't have to live in fear all game. That's nice. They like funnily enough, the Dace plus Ion Cannon is significantly more annoying for me than anyone else, but I mean, it's obviously not very relevant still. But yeah, rolling up with a bunch of medium bases, getting Ion would be sad, but thankfully there's absolutely no damage output on the scum stuff. But yeah, so like the reason I played this crazy off meta shit list, it's not shit, but it's this like we're way off into the deep end of off meta here, is solely to farm Bosk lists. Like this game, reviewing it feels almost a little silly because this is like I brought this list to this tournament to just collect Bosk wins.
And also you do pretty well against 6 non-Inquisitors, Barons.
Yep, and then it's okay against MJ. It's not good, but it's fine. But it has a serious problem with jousting lists, which are unfortunately what I found instead. But that being said, so
And also you shouldn't throw Anakin away against any Rebel lists that run
No.
Hera and stuff. by
no,
just
no, that was
flying in
fine.
front
I
of all
made
of them.
no mistakes. All my decision making was perfect. Yeah, no, that was bad. Yeah, sadly, Paul sent me to the losers bracket round 1 of the tournament, so all the Bosks were sadly hiding in the top half of the tournament, so I had to really claw my way
Weird.
through. So the other thing I wanted to note was what was it? Oh yeah, so you get the same feedback every time you play low agility stuff versus Bosk, because people are like, wow, oh my god, like Bosk just chews through health so fast, but I don't know if it's counterintuitive, and that's why people say that, but Bosk is way better against high agility stuff than low agility stuff. When he's
Yeah.
turning 1 hit into 2 hits on an arc, that's like 10% of the ship. Like I don't care. When he's turning 1 hit into 2 hits against like a Baron, that's half the ship.
Yep. It's
Uh,
I mean, going from 2 to 1, it's proportional to how much health the ship has.
Right. So like when this is 29 hull or shields or whatever of 1 agility stuff, like that's way too much for Bosk to get through. He's just never going to be able to get through that much.
Yeah. Because against arcs, Bosk is already going to do 2 or 3 damage every shot anyway.
Yep. And like, well, I don't really care if it's 4 instead. Not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Plus, if he's using his crits up to do more damage, that's less face-up cards for your high hull crap to
Yes,
deal with.
thank God. But yeah, so this setup happens, right? So this you should do this every game with Arcs and Warthog because it's impossible to get them down the board in a reasonable way. Or rather, you're always going to get a better engage doing this than you are trying to move these ships down the board, because at least you can always force a joust doing this. And it might be better to look at that in a little bit. But actually, I guess it's worth having that conversation. So I am clearly fortressing here. Like, we'll see as the game progresses. But I know how to count, and I know 11 is higher than whatever horrible final salvo is on the D side of the board here, right? So I am never going to engage until he makes me. And then we're going to joust because all my stuff's hiding in the corner of the board. I guess it's worth saying that the reason I do this is because I don't think you should be able to do this, and it should not be part of the game. But usually the best way to get things like that changed is to just abuse them until you force the hand. So I will gladly be the villain of the fortressing story to get it fixed.
I mean, we can dial back to Gen Con how many years ago, right? The fair ship
Time is the
rebel.
flat circle.
That one picture of poor sweet Frank.
But yeah, so anyway, but I guess you hear a lot of frustrated people who are like, man, he fortress, there's nothing I could do. So let's look at options that D has. So first things first, he saw me set up like this, right? So right off the bat in setup, so these ships over here are not placed yet. These guys haven't been put down yet. They're just on the board
Yep.
because they need somewhere to be. So like step one is identifying, hey, my opponent is fortressing. So when your opponent fortresses, you suddenly have infinity time to get your ships exactly to where they want to be. So I don't know why D sets up like this, but so he does. So I guess the why doesn't matter here. So let's look at it.
Well, I would assume that the Y is because that's what he does every game.
Right.
Because most players have a kind of a routine setup.
Yeah, don't be on autopilot for every game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes back to if you remember last time we saw Duncan roll up with double reinforce outside of range 1 against 2 attack dice ships, right? It's like this
Mhm.
this is not helping. It actually cannot help you no matter what happens. So let's sit back and think and go, okay, my opponent is giving me an unlimited amount of time to get my ships to wherever I want to be. So, like, we can effectively cut 15 minutes off the clock and he can be like, okay, I want Bosk here, I want Tell here, and I want Kane in here, right? And he can just do that. And I'm saying, do it. I'm saying, pick your ships up and put them wherever you want. And then, come meet me in the corner. And there might be some amount of negotiation that happens, right? Like as soon as his ships get over here to get there, like maybe suddenly I come out of the corner, but that's okay. Like you just have to get them to the direction of your opponent's fortress in such a way that you're okay with your opponent leaving the fortress.
Yeah, I mean your choices here, like when your opponent's fortressing in the corner with some portion of his list, your choice is either set up in the opposite corner, run all the way down to his deployment, and then make a hard turn and go at it from the side, or set up opposite him and just fly straight at him. Like those are really your two choices boiled down.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be flying through the middle diagonally at him. You're not going to be doing any fancy nonsense or hunting down his Anakin Skywalker in this case. Like you've got one of two options. Pick one of them.
Right. So, and the reason I even bring this up is so we'll see this is going to compound, but like we see Bosk set up here facing this way. Like this serves absolutely no purpose. This is not useful. Because if you wanted to get over here faster, you could just set up here and go straight rather than having to come down and then around.
Yeah.
And the longer the game goes on, the happier I am, because if Bosk dies and some arcs die, then it's just Anakin versus stuff, and the longer that game happens, or the longer we're in that board state, the more Anakin's gonna win by. So, yeah.
Yeah, just in general, the fewer ships are on the table, the happier the ace moving last is.
Yep. So yeah. Anyways, we'll speed up some. Because the only thing he doesn't necessarily know is where Anakin is gonna be, but most.
I promise it matters.
Yeah, it's like. So I'll go ahead and unpause it. I think it's going to be sped up for a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, because basically Anakin, wherever he puts his stuff, wherever you put Anakin is not going to be directly across from Boss, so it's fine.
Right. And I mean, I know, D doesn't necessarily, the person against the other side of the fortress doesn't know, but Anakin is not engaging ever. He's just going to go
Anakin
hide up.
doesn't want any part of this as long as Bosk is on the table.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's running off to the right there, and then maybe gonna eventually fly behind Dace and be like, "Hey, Dace, hey, pay attention to me."
Yep.
Like, I assume that's your plan, right? Like, not to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't want to give you guys too many spoilers because I don't want to rot your brain with what I was thinking because then it'll be harder to come up with what would have been a better idea than what I was thinking. So
Yeah,
I
it
guess
really seems like you just go hunt down Dace. Like, he's and maybe clip him with like an ion cannon or whatever, and then bug out and
Yeah.
make D freak out a bit, and
Mhm.
eventually, like,
Because
Yeah.
the other counterplay option you have against, I mean, not even the other one, it's the same thing, but against the fortress, not only do you basically get to dictate the position and when you engage, you also not you get to dictate the where you engage, but also the when.
Yep.
So there is if you time it, if you basically just waste the entire game positioning, you
Right.
can you can get half on something and then just win the game that way.
Right, like a strategy for D here could have been. I don't think this should have to be a strategy. Again, I don't think any of this is good for the game, but this is the
Right.
reality we live in. But a good
Yeah.
strategy for him would be to also fortress and wait until there's 7 minutes left and roll up with double reinforced Bosk and a Torp and do exactly half of an arc and then not get halved on the last turn and then the game's over, right? And then I lose.
Yeah. And yeah, like it's not something that I'm really happy about, but I mean, the reality of it is like you play the game that's on the table, and that's the game that we have to play.
Yep.
yeah, Anakin does have a bit of a say in the I'm just gonna roll in the last turn of the game and half you, like, because
Right.
Yeah, because
Anakin
Anakin can
can.
very easily just
Yes. Yep.
chip Dace down and then run away, and then that puts you even more pressure on the bunker buster to actually do its job.
Yeah, but like so let's say all right, this is going to take some drawing, but like let's say that was D's plan and he set up Tell here and Bosk like this or something, and then Dace like here. You're at least telling your Anakin opponent, hey, I don't believe in your ability to get exactly at range of only Dace and not Bosk.
Right.
Yeah,
Or on the turn where you get close enough to force it, then yeah, you
And
know.
Dace can kind of bug out and then
Yep,
leave
and
Bosk
Dace
there, and
can go
then yeah,
behind, and Boss comes in,
Anakin
and
gets
blah blah
caught.
blah.
Yeah.
Right, and there's some. I don't want to say interesting, but there's definitely some decisions to be made there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is we're talking at a more of like a. It's one of those things where it's not really fun to think about because actually playing that game sounds miserable. But that like high level strategy approach of how to deal with stuff like this is still something that even if you hate it, you still have to deal with it.
Yep. Okay, so I think here is where the first like actual decisions of the game start happening. So I will stop skipping through everything. Um,
so the really important thing is, do you know what the split was on the choose your champion?
oh, it was very heavily scum favored. I think no one has seen Arcs or Warthog or Eras ever, like as a thing that
Yeah,
people
the
seriously
general
play.
populace believes that Republic is bad, right?
Yeah. So yeah, actually, let me take the time machine. All right, so here we go. So I guess every turn on the Republic side, we have to make two decisions. Number one, do we break Fort Chris? And number two, where's Anakin going? Um, I think those are the high level things to hit, right? The where, like if we're gonna, because like the point is not to pop quiz you for how to break the fortress, right? That's something you just come pre-prepared with, and like I can tell you that these can break out either direction, and how you get there isn't super interesting.
Right.
Um, so like Paul, you were saying earlier, Anakin, we want to just go take snipe shots into Dace and
Yeah, so
force
he's
these
just
guys to do
going all the
something.
way to D's deployment zone,
Hmm.
turning left, and then gonna
Like this,
go.
basically.
Yeah, yeah, just
Yep.
a long way around. Yeah,
Pretty much.
and be
And
like,
then
D, you
yeah,
have to pay attention to this.
because he's so far away to begin with, and he has the Eda 2 ability, he
Yep.
can basically telegraph that, and then if because the scum chips are a lot less responsive with their movement, the second he like bites on something, you can just leave.
Right. Yep. Okay. So yeah. I mean, I think at a high level, I agree with you, though. I'm willing to commit less, which will shock neither of us.
Yeah,
No way.
I'm a little bit more willing to have him kind of not put himself into danger, but like if
Put himself
if
into a position where he might eventually be in danger.
yeah, because if like Bosk and Tell go back up into D's corner where Anakin is, like coming from, like if Anakin's in front of all of D's cards coming along towards Dace, and Bosk and Tell are going back that way, you can break the fortress and just be like, okay, I'll fly behind Bosk.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Is basically, well, I mean,
It's
some
like the
sure.
dream. Yeah, like your dream, like one of your ideal scenarios would be something like Mannequin piddles around this top part of the map hanging out,
Yep, hangs
and
out up
then God
here.
forbid boss turns in,
Yeah, and then this happens, right? And then
and then
these
this
guys
happens,
suddenly
and then
come in
yeah, then
behind.
you just get to feast on them.
Yep, that would be the dream. I agree.
But there's no way he would do that, right? Right?
Actually, you know what? For once, kind of correct.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's coming to just break the bunker, and he's just a little slow. Like he's only one turn behind where he probably should have been, really, right? Because he's set up in that
Yeah.
pre-position setup.
And we kind of skipped on it. Why this is such a list building win, right? There's not much of a game. Even if these arcs and stuff don't really fortress, like the only thing you have to do as Republic here is not lose Anakin and kill Bosk, and the game is over because Anakin can solo Tell plus Dace relatively comfortably, not super comfortably, but if you have literally anything to help, then it's big whatever territory.
Bet to all.
Yep, I think a lot of people learned a lesson in Texas, which was, wow, Idas are really good. Like, yeah. If only someone had been trying to tell you.
I think on some level it was a lesson that people really didn't want to be like they didn't. At least some people probably didn't want it to be true.
True.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Lucy's list was pretty good too.
Yeah, I think I think one of the things it'll be worth reviewing later, but we caught most things that were going to be good. I think with a lot of accuracy, but some of the random Republic jank stuff, we did not identify just how good Shakti was.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the biggest breakouts, I guess, takeaways from what we saw at LSO was Shakti was one of them, and the other one was Paylob, right? Because everyone was really hyped up on Kanan, and then Paylob was like, oh neat, Paylob.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like,
we knew Paylob was good, but we were like, well, no one's playing him, so we don't really have to practice against him.
oh,
And
Yeah.
then people flew him, and we were
Yeah.
like, oh, they figured it out. Darn.
Yep, so much like we were talking about at the beginning of the game, Bosk has decided to come around the long way, which makes some sense. I think probably you'd be better off coming this, like, here instead of here, because it's just less places for Anakin to get behind you, but, you
Right,
don't
'cause
have
the whole- I
infinity
mean, that's-
time, so...
It's just general playing against aces strategies. Just give them as few spaces as possible to get around you. So if you hug the board edge, for example, that cuts off a significant chunk of the board they can't get to you.
True. Yeah, because like right now, another way to think about it is how much of your arc is useful. So right now, all of this portion of Bosk's arc is not useful. But if he were here, right, and then ends up coming in like this, then, this portion of Bosk's arc is wasted, which is, now suddenly we have all this coverage of all this, which is a beautiful drawing I would love to repeat sometime.
Because, like, generally, if you're ever trying to do meaningful damage to aces or catch them in arcs and stuff like that, like the idea of filling in the board with your firing arcs and then just giving them as little space as possible and kind of corralling them if you can.
Oh,
is
yeah,
usually your way to do that.
I was going to say, because we kind of skipped past what Anakin's move was, I do not agree with doing the one.
Yes, I was going to drive it back and say, why not just 2 straight and be up here? Seems way better.
Yeah, like you could have 2 straighted and then boosted and been like, okay, here I am. Well, you didn't even need to boost, but like 2 straight and then be like, okay, next turn I'm going to threaten to come in at Dace.
Yep.
Here, you're not really threatening to come in at Dace because Tell is able to actually do something about that.
Because I was thinking I want to be able to threaten the right boost 5 straight, but there's not a world where that was ever going to happen.
Jesus.
Whereas the other way, that's super not true, right? Because like you said, the two straight land like here or whatever boost to here, like suddenly this boost in and then land around here is very real because there's no torp from Tell that's going to hit you there.
Yeah, or even you just keep going 5 straight along his deployment zone area, like, and get right behind everything and be
Right.
like, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually this game where not this turn, but this game in general was afterwards I sat down and was like, okay, I have to figure out better ways to dick around with Anakin on the other edge of the board because like this was really bad. So yeah, 100% agree. That was not a good look.
What round was this?
This is round 3. So like I had a
Oh, it's
similar
right there.
problem
Jesus.
like playing
Okay.
against Paul, and he was like, yeah, you shouldn't fly your Anakin in front of everything. You just have him die. I was like, oh yeah, true. But the like exactly how to screw around in the edge of the board such that you can always leave but also always do something useful is a like surprisingly non-trivial problem to solve to put yourself in that position every turn forever. So yeah.
It generally, I think the general call with stuff like that is just almost when you're playing those kind of AC type ships, like when you do a hard turn, that's a serious commitment. When you do like a straight or a bank, you can kind of be wherever you want to be.
Yeah. So I think we're about to start moving stuff, so I wanted to ask you guys. So I agree, we should not be here with Anakin. We should be here. But we are here. So what's the plan now? How do you salvage this?
I mean, probably just like a decloak. Do they have one banks?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it might
I
just
mean,
be stall by going left
yeah,
and
just
then
decloak
turning
turn,
right,
decloak hard turn
or
Gotcha. So
forever.
like rolling here and just like landing like this, basically. You're saying facing
Basically,
this
yeah.
way. Yeah.
so either stall there or you just do like you don't decloak or do anything and you just do like a 2-turn
Yeah,
here
and chill
to
over
the
here.
right and then end up either
Somewhere right
boosting
here.
or running away or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we have there's still one turn. Because even if Tell like 3 banks, he'll be what like I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so bad at drawing. But this is not. This lock is not happening. Is the high
Yeah,
level
it's not
point.
happening.
So we're good, but we're not comfortable because the 3-turn Bosk here is not out of the question entirely. Because you could still 3-turn again next turn here. And we don't want to take that risk.
Right.
Yeah, you're still not committing at this point, definitely, but it's just where do you want to be when you not commit? And I think it might be better to be closer to D's deployment zone
Yeah,
rather
like up in
than
this area.
your right side,
Yep.
your gutter. I don't like your gutter. I like D's deployment
Yeah,
zone
it's like
better.
as if we're here-ish. It's what you're saying versus here.
Yeah, you have a ton more. You A have a ton more options, and B, if he does commit to Anakin when Anakin's in his deployment zone, he puts his butt to the fort, which is a very easy like break and just start chewing on Bost's bottom. Yeah,
Yep.
Nom nom nom.
Okay.
if you will. Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and hit play, and we can start going again. I don't remember what I did with Anakin, so we'll find out.
I'm sure it was something very smart
I'm sure.
and
Yeah, I'm
well
sure
thought
it was
out.
brilliant and very well thought. Agreed.
So normally they close the choose your champion like 3 turns into the game because people start fighting around then.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't do that here.
Nope, sure don't.
Anakin advancing in the opposite direction, very strong.
Okay, so yep, you did that. Okay. So you went this way. Like you could tell after you see where Anakin does his pre-move, like what he's going to do. You're like,
Right.
okay, yeah, he's doing a 1 hard. What are you doing? Are you breaking your fortress?
Yeah.
It's taunting.
Yes. Yes. It was time for Warthog to move. So that's what the applause was.
You can't break the fortress. That's illegal.
Yep. But yeah, no, like, and the reason for that is I realized I forgot to talk about it. The reason is Bosk can be here in 2 turns, so it's time to move. So no matter what Bosk does, the fight between these and Bosk is happening soon. So Warthog has to move first to make the breakout this direction work well. So it's time for Warthog to move.
I was told that you could just sit there indefinitely and win the game.
True. Warthog should have rotated there, not focused, but I wasn't paying attention, so you hate to see it.
And D is not committing either.
Yep.
He thinks it's the what is it? It's the commercial with the fisherman with the dollar bill. He thinks he's gonna get Anakin at some point. He wants the fortress. He wants the arcs, but like he knows in his head that he needs to start dumpstering the arcs, but he knows in his heart, hey, look, uh, that he really, really wants to kill Anakin.
True.
Anakin only has 3 health.
Yeah.
Look how
Only
easy it'd be
having-
to kill him.
All it's gonna take is one good shot. He might blank out. His dice are bad. Look,
You
dice.
boost.
Look, dice happen.
Boost. Boost, Anakin, boost.
Well, if he boosts, he can't just decloak and turn again next turn. That's the Chris
I know.
internal monologue, by the
Well,
way.
yeah,
While he's
one,
planning.
true, but the question is, do I straight boost and lose one of my decloaks, or do I left boost and lose both? And I didn't like either, so I just didn't.
I don't like. So I like having 2 decloaks, but I also don't like the boost in because Tell hasn't crossed that point of no return just yet.
Yep, agreed.
Once Tell gets, and Tell was basically another base length up. Tell couldn't realistically turn in and lock you.
Yeah.
Like Tell
Oh,
can't do it now, but
yeah. So actually, that reminds me. So you remember we were talking about like reinforce and gamut keying and like telegraphing what you're gonna do. If there was ever a turn to gamut key and a reinforce instead of a focus, it's when you've got this looking at you on the other end of it.
yeah.
Like, do you really think that Anakin is going to come in here and like shoot at Bosk? If you do that, you're going to win the game anyways. Like, it's time to not lose Bosk to arcs. And you want the double reinforce on Bosk here. You don't
This
want.
is a good turn for a double reinforce. I think the only thing that he might, I guess, yeah, I guess if he goes slow this turn, then the arcs, but
Yeah,
like,
but if you go
the
slow
arcs,
this turn, then you don't need the gamut.
yeah,
So he's telling me like, hey, we're fighting this turn. To which the response is like, well, okay.
yeah, he tells you he's fighting, then he wants the reinforce because the whole point is to mitigate the damage.
Yep.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have a choice really as to whether or not we're fighting this turn, so I guess we're fighting this turn.
Yep. And it's like that's why I was bummed out because it would be nice to what's it called, to have this arc facing forward, but it is not, sadly. And since
I mean, it's not terrible there, right? Like if
You
you
just
do
do
like
one forward, right, and the other arcs just kind of jump in.
I was thinking like a 3 bank left with
Yeah.
him if you're
So you could So the scary thing is, so like here would be really nice. I agree.
behind the cloud.
But if this arc, so like 3 banks here, or whatever, like here,
It's far
whatever that
away.
lands, this getting out is starting to get outside of range 2 really fast.
Oh yeah, I forget that his stuff is range 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the arc's not going to die in a single round from
A Proton Torp and Bosk. It might.
This is what like I feel like the either just the one bank left or the one forward, and then the arcs can fight after that isn't terrible.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I think there are lots of interesting options to salvage that lack of rotate. I didn't follow through
Yeah,
on them.
because
though.
like just looking at this. So if I'm D at this moment, regardless of who I'm playing, I don't gamut because I want to gamut next turn, because I want to go slow this turn again, because I'm pretty sure the arcs can't catch me. And I also know 100% that Anakin's not going to be there.
Hey, check out this damage deck holder. Hi, Will.
Wow, cool damage deck. Like it might be different because it's you, but I think in general, if I see Anakin
What
in
are you
that position where
implying?
he is,
Yep.
and you offered me, and I was offered to be allowed to bet any amount of money, it might be all of the money that Anakin's going to be facing away from everything at the end of the turn. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how much money. I mean, I might like bet my house. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Things are happening. All right. Well, how to make money? Bet Chamblee that Anakin won't turn in, and then just turn in. Got it. Now we know. Okay. Well, thanks to. All right. So let's talk Anakin then. We've got some time. So Chamblee is saying, because it's me, there's 0% chance that Anakin is going to be facing anything, and I don't disagree. To be clear, I do know me. But I'm curious what you think the best thing to do here is. What you guys think the best thing to do here is? Because I agree with.
Yeah.
This was a very odd turn to be Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, this is again if you were in the
Yeah, if you were up
yeah,
there, this would be a
deployment
lot
zone.
easier.
Yep, if we
But
were up
I still-
here, this is way easier because we could just 5 straight to here and move on with life. But
yeah.
we
'Cause I
can't do
think
that.
the problem is that you don't want to. So the problem is that you don't want to commit to anything. But the other problem is you don't want to sit in that corner the whole game because as Bosk approaches your little fortress, he can very easily just kind of cut around and put Anakin in his in danger zone.
Right.
So like the decloak turn in again is not awful, but it's not great
Yeah.
for future turns.
So you're saying roll, turn here
Yeah,
ish. Yeah.
that's not bad because it gives you the option to basically approach from either side of the gas cloud depending on where they end up.
hmm
Plus, it gives you the boost 5 out or whatever. I'm not 100% sure if the roll back and then just 2 or 3 forward past the obstacle isn't bad. Then you could boost after that.
Wait,
And then
sorry. Say that again.
like so roll right 3 or 4 forward.
Roll right, and
Roll
then
Anakin.
get it
Oh,
like
wait,
over
wait,
here.
which way
So
is he facing? Yeah. Roll him right.
From
Roll him
now,
to his
roll
right,
right.
and then fly past the obstacle, then boost. And you'll end up basically facing like the very end of the MC-75.
Oh, roll right. Okay. So
Yeah, roll right.
trash this. All right. So we're rolling right. So we're rolling here and then going straight.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so you're saying like land somewhere in this area ish.
Land somewhere there, and then boost if you want to, and then you end up basically facing down,
Right. Yeah. Facing this direction.
and you have like then you're golden at that point.
I was thinking you don't do any of the pre-moves and you just go like 3 forward here. And then if he turned in with his guys, you just roll to your right and go out of range.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, then you just boost and do a left boost and then get ready to fight the next turn.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, if you move slow enough with your arcs and Warthog, then you might even only engage Bosk this turn, like because he's going to make like a little conga line with Bosk and Tell. It looks like.
Yeah, the fun thing is that because he's telegraphed that he's going to gamut, you basically want to go slow this turn, right? You like 1 forward the arc, you 1 bank right the arc that's facing down, and then like 2 forward the other arc, and you have kind of this. You almost be where your dial covers are,
Interesting.
and then
So
tell him to be able to get to you from where
yes,
he is.
the funny thing is like I totally have the exact opposite opinion of that. So in my head, okay, so he's gamut keyed this turn, so he can't next turn. So I want to be at range 1 next turn and make sure that Bosk dies.
Yeah, because AC can't double reinforce them.
Right. I don't know that you're wrong.
Turn.
It's just that thought process never entered my brain, so I'm glad you said it. Because
Yeah.
I could entirely.
Because if he can't gamut end of this turn, next turn he's going to be single double action, I guess, with
with the or coordinate.
with coordinate. But he won't be double reinforced. Is what matters.
Right.
And then you effectively get to hit him when he's double reinforced with your ideal like range 1, range 2 fight. Not this turn, but the turn after. And then when he actually gets gamut back, you can like split basically, and the arcs can use their rears and poke Boss down because he's already taken like 2 or 3 salvos of shots.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Anakin's just here pressuring from the back, and like if Dace is coordinating, then Dace is going to be getting punished by Anakin super hard.
Right. Okay, I think we've gone through all the realistic options. I'm just gonna free us from this turn of planning.
And then everything that we said just doesn't matter.
And this is where Chris does like a 3 left turn with Anakin and goes charging in.
And
Jesus
locks.
Christ. Past Chris only exists to make me look bad.
True. No, the funny thing is, so my takeaway from this game was I got to get my Anakin act together, but also like, I gotta stop having so much fun in all my games and pay more attention. And I was just saying, hey, I'm moving him second because it's gonna be annoying. So I did. So yeah, this was the turn in with Warthog. Yep, so this is why I very much want the forward-facing arc, so I could reinforce this turn rather than having to rotate, because this rotate is a bummer.
So the 4 straight on the arcs is red, right?
Yes.
That sucks.
True.
Because like it would have been a really great move if the arc went like 4 straight and the other arc and hopped over Warthog and the other arc did like a 1 bank and then your Warthog does like a 3 bank behind the cloud there.
Right. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
everything's pointed the right direction and blah blah blah. Yeah, so this was the oh you're actually doing this moment of that I had this game. I was like, oh
Dear God in heaven.
we're really doing this? Okay, I'm in.
I can't tell you
just
how unhappy I am right now.
Well, and the fun part is, so say you did the 3 straight forward,
Yep.
like, and you would have known, okay, thanks to the lock, that okay, I could barrel roll and just get out of range.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so there was a lot of. This is why I was bullying D for like, hey, if you worry about the dice less and put your ships in better positions, you will have less frustrating losses. Because
Weird.
yeah, I think this was probably so. This is like a hedge from D, right? Like, okay, I'm not gonna let Anakin get behind me. Instead, I'm gonna let the arcs get to the side and behind Bosk, which
Yeah,
is like
so the
worse
good
than
news
letting
is-
Anakin
yeah, so
get
here's
behind
the
you.
thing, is that here's the fun part is I don't know that I like your arc moves, but I like these moves a lot less.
Yeah, let's say I think there probably was some better position to get these like here and here, right?
Because I
Facing
think
this
you
way.
want them tilted 45 degrees, because
Right.
then they can either just kind of slam into boss or like turn out and use their rear arcs.
Yeah. The like in my brain, the odds that there was ever going to be any kind of like 3 straight from Bosk just roll up with no reinforce or anything was like I was like, oh, that's just not happening. So I have another
Yeah.
turn to like take some shitty range 3 shots back and forth, lose half an arc, don't care, it's fine. And then
'Cause, man,
Bosk
the fact that
monster
he doesn't
trucks at
have
3 straight, and I was
reinforcements
like,
means he's going to take damage for
what?
nothing here. Then you
Yep.
just turn in and just mulch boss.
So
Yeah.
me coming in late,
Hi,
was there
Travis.
ever a consideration that he was going to threaten Anakin?
That's what we've been talking about the whole time, basically, was the possibility to threaten it and how it probably wasn't worth it, but it kept Anakin honest.
Yeah, but I mean, like also philosophically, is it really ever worth doing that? I mean, there's sometimes where it feels worth, but like if someone's just not going to play aggressive with their aces, then overcommitting to one while the ace plus gang, your
Yeah.
gang behind them is a bunch of 3 die shots.
So yeah,
highly
we were
modded.
discussing this just before you popped on, Travis. Basically, if I'm in the position I'm where D was when he was planning his stuff, I would basically bet any amount of money that Anakin is not going to be anywhere near a fight, so I'm not even going to bother like going after him.
And
Yeah,
this,
same team.
well,
Oh no!
I'm so sorry. All right, hang on.
Whoa, the wrong guy.
God!
What's
Oh,
happening
Spoilers!
here?
whoa, what?
Future vision.
All right, we'll
Oh,
hop.
and you got.
Wait. We gotta see what Anakin did. Jesus.
All right.
Oh, the subtitles are back. Please.
No! Oh, you truly
No,
go
yes!
back! Oh no, it's all over! Take the time machine, panic.
No.
All right, we're here. We're good. We're vibing. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
figured
not-
it out.
I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Okay. So I have no idea how I did that, so I'm just gonna try to not do it. Okay. So this coordinate is what I was gonna. Look, I'm just asking questions. All right. So we're
Sure.
here to critique D because he can take it. But this coordinated focus may be the single least good decision that happens this
Are
whole
you
game.
fucking kidding me?
What, like, giving the reinforced to Bosk seems like the better play,
Yeah,
right?
Are you-
I agree.
It seems pretty much
my
automatic.
God.
Yep.
Okay, and yeah, you just flew straight forward.
Well,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
This
because-
is
4 or
fine.
5, it doesn't matter what the speed was, but yeah,
So
I think that was the right move.
So here's the thing about the aces, and this is just useful to reflect on, and because we've all been there before, right? Where you really want to turn in and say, yeah, if they turn in really hard, I can punish them. But if you understand, so that happens against bad players, but against players that actually play aces, they'll do some generic move because aces are generally so fast, they won't be out of position. Like this turn, like you do the 5 straight boost. Let's say he didn't commit. Next turn, you literally can do a barrel roll before you maneuver 3 turn boost, and you're completely in the fight. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
doing the 5 straight had 0 consequences because you were never not going to be in the fight, and all this did is it cements. Okay, Anakin won't turn into the fight, but then the other 3 ships can do it.
Yeah.
Without
well, and this is
impunity.
just general like ace stuff. Is aces when you're talking about aces, arc dodging, there's arc dodging, then there's in quotation marks arc dodging. So Anakin taking range 3 shots from Tell with 2 dice is effectively arc dodging. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's
Hey,
no
it's
way anything's
it's
going to
3
happen.
dice. You have Tell us a cannon.
Yeah, it's an
So
ion
there's
cannon.
that, and then there's also when you're really arc dodging, you're actually a lot better off staying close to things. It's a lot easier to dodge arcs when you're close to stuff.
Yeah. So I'm dragging us back into this actual game real quick. So
You
here
have
is so actual Bosk is not something you have to do. So here there were 2 crits for Bosk. So the question is, would you rather do 2 damage to a lat or a face-up damage? And there was no decision thinking about this here, but I think that's a very real decision to make every turn, right? Like, there's a lot of crits
Yeah,
that
doing 2 crits.
I think
Oof.
I might actually want to crit you early and then try and finish you off.
Yeah, because the lats have what, like 6 hull, 8 hull.
Right?
Like, who cares?
yep,
Are they 9 and 3?
they're
8
8-2.
and 2.
8 and 2. Yeah, I would rather
considering how
crit
bad
you,
the
like
lat
sneak
dial
an
is.
early crit in and then start splitting.
I'd always be splitting. I don't know. Like, just burn it down faster. Every crit is a direct hit then.
True.
So, I mean, I agree with you, but like some of those crits, especially when you have to take so many shots into them, I'm just thinking of like what happens when I played the Ghost and it's just immediately hull breach, or like there's just so many debilitating crits on these high hull ships that having a crit early has this really compounding effect when you have to lay a lot of shots into them. It was my reasoning anyway. That's my thought process.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Zam,
I had a question about oh yeah, you're showing your Zam and everything, but why didn't you barrel roll to the right with Anakin there to completely avoid the shot rather than getting even a chance of an ion cannon happening?
because I knew I needed to be there, and I want room to, like somebody mentioned, be able to dial in the 3-turn next turn. To either boost 3-turn to like here, or roll here, 3-turn here, or roll here, 3-turn here, just depending on whether or not a bomb gets dropped. Because the odds of getting hit by that, so the odds of getting ion by that shot are effectively non-existent.
Sure, yeah, you had
you used
a
to get
bunch
2
of
hits through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that that's correct, but that's why I chose the boost, because I wanted the extra 45 degrees more than the not having the 2% chance to lose the game or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, it's a valid thing. It's just your risk level. Like,
Yep.
if you were absolutely anti-risk, you would have rolled out,
Right,
and just
for
been
sure.
like, whatever,
Yeah.
no shot.
Well, that's the
Yep.
I mean that's the whole thing with arc dodging versus arc dodging in quotation marks.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, and then there was a somewhat interesting decision with Warthog this turn. So obviously I know that Bosk chose the shoot him, get a target lock, gain a charge with Sam thing here. The other side is literally worthless. My arcs could not shoot him, so why would he choose anything but the side that he did? So knowing that this was out of arc, because it was obviously out of arc, I could have kept Bosk at 1 charge there, and what's it called? And not let him get 2 charges at the end of this turn.
So we can get to double tap you next turn.
Right. So I don't know that it was correct to shoot with Warthog, but it did a damage. So yeah, it probably wasn't. Like, the odds of that doing damage are pretty slim. And
Look at
here,
D with the poor sportsmanship using challenge coins as
oh
shield
my god,
markers.
what a horrible person. And we bring Lats to not use them today, apparently.
True.
Oh my god, with 2 mods, you somehow managed to get 3 hits in. What a
Weird.
surprise.
Wow.
No, let's
It's
fixate
nice.
on that. He didn't use the
Yeah,
mod that
but
time.
so that damage sensor array is really big, so therefore
Oh, yeah.
it makes my decision with Warthog correct. I think is how that works.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Well, this also shows that his decision about not carrying a reinforce into this round of combat was definitely the wrong one.
Correct.
Man, that one still surprises me.
So
Because
yeah,
he would have never taken that. Yeah.
Let's just imagine. Just imagine if Bosk had 2 reinforces right now.
Yep, yeah, it'd be a really bad look for me if Bosk was rolling in with double reinforce here. I mean, he would have taken 2 total damage, Well,
Yeah,
maybe 3? No, just 2. Yeah.
just two.
And be chilling here with double reinforce for next turn and be real sad about it.
Yep.
Because he'd have single reinforce this turn and then double next turn. My lat, I don't remember what got rolled, but my lat would have like about one more health on average, but yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
Yep. Okay, so we're back to somewhat interesting decision. So this is, I mean, so we're at 50 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. We're at 50 minutes left in the game, so we've been playing for 25. And this is what like a usual game 2 or 3 looks like. So basically,
Yeah.
I've burned off a third of the game.
Yeah, you're only about 10 minutes slower than where a game normally is at this point. And I
Right.
mean, a lot of that is, D could have set up to just go to this spot
Right.
if he wanted to
Yeah, but
without tooling around.
yep, and I think like if D had taken his time instead of just setting up the diagonal joust, right? This Bosk could be here, which would
Yeah.
be way better, and then Tell could
Where,
be here, right? And like at a 45
so
degree proton torping this guy or whatever, right?
yeah, like, even knowing he has Electron has Baffle, like I hate where Bosk is.
Yep.
I fucking hate where Bosk is right now.
You can do right turns and just kind of do right and stay on the board here, but I don't know if that's great.
Yep.
Like Warthog can pretty easily block any right move that he's going to do.
Like
And
yeah, I just imagine if Bosk was right by the board edge, by like where your shield tokens are, and then like Dace is basically behind him, or like hovering around that asteroid, and
Right.
just it seems so much worse because Bosk runs in here like double reinforced, and if you bite on him, cool, that's Bosk. He's gonna tear something apart, and then Tell's right behind him, and then Dace can kind of hover around. Like it just seems so much better because now there's so much real estate for Anakin to get into that's just behind them.
Right.
And even if Tell does the really, really stupid too hard left, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't
It'll
matter
start
what Tell
being
does.
range 1 turret shots into force evade and no one cares.
No, it's really gonna matter. I promise.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put us in because I think like you noted, Bosk has nowhere. Bosk cannot turn here because Warhog's gonna be in the way, and he
Yep,
can't do anything useful over here. So like,
yep.
cool, I guess.
So Boss basically has to stop, or he has to stop. Like, and the hard stop here looks awful, especially because he has the no actions.
Yep.
yeah,
Uh,
well, he's going to get coordinated to do a focus, and then
Well, he can't because he can't. Oh, he can do a focus. Yeah,
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 he can
that'll be
focus.
the one thing he does. So
he can
so
focus,
Dace
but he
can
can't
tell him to
reinforce.
focus,
Yeah,
and
he's super
then
sad. This is like the saddest boss.
yeah, he just sits there and is a pinata for the other these arcs to tee off on.
So this game feels. I mean, we discussed this earlier. This game feels a lot like two players playing on autopilot who didn't really think stuff through for the situation.
So do you hard turn in with the arcs here, like a 2 turn to the right?
Are you
Use
asking for
bank, right?
spoilers?
Yeah,
No.
like that's what you got to do, right? Like because they don't have a 3 turn, they only have a 2 turn,
They
right?
have a 3 turn, but it's
If he
red.
turns red, though, isn't
Oh,
it?
then
Yeah.
yeah, no, you 2 turn. You get one of your arcs will be at range 1, hopefully, and the other arc will be at range 2, and Warthog will be at like range 1, and yeah.
Yeah, like boss
Yeah.
can't go anywhere. He just
So
he has to meekly accept it.
so we're a system phase now. So yeah. So question 1 is there's some stuff we actually hadn't hit. So 1, do you drop bombs here with Dace or anything, any bomb?
I think
I
so.
think
Just to, I mean,
I
depends on
think
what you're doing.
yeah.
I mean, if you're doing what I think Tell's doing, which is the one too hard left, um,
You're bombing
no,
yourself then. Yeah, if you're
but you're
going
bombing
left,
yourself if Tell's turning in.
if Tell is giving up and running off to the right, which oh
And
my
then
god,
Tell
that's
can't get the jump master, so it's just going to be red everywhere.
yeah, I don't know what Tell does here.
Like Tell, like so as bad as the boss positioning is, the Tell positioning is somehow worse. It's astounding.
So this is that. Yeah, I was gonna say you dropped the bomb, but looking at Tell, I mean, Tell's in a position where they're. I don't remember the dial. I don't know if you can 1 turn there, but it's like 1 turn target lock and hope to proton torpedo you, I guess.
Yeah,
Um, and you just get a ton of information by whether he drops a bomb or not. Like just
Mhm.
like a comical amount of information.
and it really informs what you can do with Anakin at that point. Because if he doesn't drop a bomb, you can. Like, I assume he did a 3 hard. You could very easily decloak left and then just bump into Tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tell also has to respect. You might just do a 1-turn left and barrel roll left. As you don't even do any pre-move, just 1 turn left, barrel roll left, and so if Tell does a hard left too, you just
you're
completely
just
arc dodge it.
Yep.
And not only do you arc dodge it, like Tell is never getting a shot on you, like for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so, Tell's about to get this is Tell getting his ankles broken in real time.
Then question 2 is, what actions do you guys want to do with these arcs in Warthog?
What actions does an arc even have? Focus and rotate and lock?
You can barrel.
Lats can focus,
the lats,
reinforce,
lats can
lock,
focus,
rotate. And then arcs can focus, lock, roll.
I think you'd lock, right? Because you're just doing damage. You're selling out. You don't care.
All right,
just do damage.
Jeremy, we got lat rerolls, so that.
Oh, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
He can barrel roll air quotes for free because he gets at least 1 reroll, or he can focus and be focus lock, right?
Yep.
I think you focus.
Just with the arcs, and what's the lat doing?
If the lat doesn't bump into an arc, then I don't know. Just mash a focus button again. Who cares?
Okay.
Or I guess reinforce might be smarter.
I was gonna say reinforce, just slow down the damage again.
Seems like a pretty good, cool.
Because you're getting shot at. How does reinforce work with Bosk?
If I remember correctly, the reinforce happens first, but I don't actually remember.
Oh, yeah, because it
doesn't matter because they both only work if it hits. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious to see what you judge. If I thought this through correctly and you guys did not, or if I overthought it. So,
Boosty.
After seeing no bombs, Anakin decides to come chill.
What? What are you doing?
They're so fast.
I would have just done a 2 right turn, but I guess you wanted to make sure you had the action with them with Warthog.
This is the one in the back 2 right turning.
No, he's probably doing like a 1 bank or something. Oh no,
I actually figured the 2 turns would bump each other.
No, well they can't because they're both
they can't do that.
All right, so the reason for this is so that Warthog has room to 2 straight
to not bump
and
point sideways
and clear out false transponders.
But he doesn't have false transponders.
Wait a minute.
Well, Tell does.
Oh. I did not realize that you were going to do it that way. Why didn't you just use the arc to clear the false transponder?
I think that was the correct thing. But I was not confident that it was going to be in range, but I should have just done it because worst case it is, and then suddenly we pick up this reinforce with the lat. Would have been much better. So I was halfway to being correct. But yeah, definitely the arc should have just done it because the arc also has the highest chance of not having arc anyways, so like whatever. So yeah, Bosk stops before he can coordinate to him, which is the real next level strats.
So now you have to coordinate to Tell here.
He wants that.
He wants that torp so badly.
He wants that torp.
I mean, I can honestly see like D thinking, well, my only win condition here is to get Anakin off the board. Because if I don't get Anakin off the board, I'm going to lose at some point.
See, the irony is I think that he loses by not killing the arcs as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Possibly
I think he misunderstood his win condition because his win condition is kill everything else and then force Anakin to make bad.
Ooh, okay, so he just quit. He did just like tap out on Anakin, which honestly is probably the correct call. It just sucks. At least it's not sunk cost, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not continuing to chase.
So here's the funny thing. Yeah, the funny thing here is that the 2 turn left. So like I said before, the 2 turn left might be the worst thing he could possibly do. Besides, like I don't know, like the 3 bank or something. This is actually him recognizing what's happening and making a decision because that is not an autopilot maneuver.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't do the turn.
I don't know why I like
I will super applaud D for that. That's awesome.
I actually looking at your ADA after the no bomb drop, and I was still assuming, because I don't know how this game went, that he was turning in. I actually just liked it. I assumed you had a 3-turn dialed in. I probably wouldn't have done any reposition, because then you could barrel roll out of his arc almost certainly if he had turned in. Otherwise, now you're just like laughingly sitting behind Tell.
Yep. Yeah, I think picking up the extra turn there would have been better. If I'm trying to remember back, I probably wasn't confident that the boost 3-turn fit, just from lack of playing.
Well, I just wouldn't have boosted, is what I mean. But yes, I understand.
And
that
since
part.
people forget that that's a thing that can happen, that was a purple Edel lock. That's why a force is gone.
Were you out of range of everything?
No,
I don't see.
he locked onto.
Well, the Ida doesn't have arc.
okay.
Yeah, it's just below the stress token. It's that much smaller
Mhm.
token.
Man, and Warthog is going to get lit up here.
Yeah, it's not a good
Poor
look.
Warthog.
Yeah, this is where having the reinforce would be very nice.
There we go. We turned into a regular proton torpedo.
My dice.
Yep, so if the correct thing had happened and we had a reinforce here, this would be 2 crits instead of hit, crit, crit.
Why didn't you just selfless some of that?
Oh, this is boss shot.
Oh, Bosk is shooting first. Okay, whatever. Same story. I think that says hull breach. We'll see if I'm helpful.
Sure.
Whatever.
Chris won't show chat.
Hull breach.
Yeah.
Hull breach.
So yeah, you are super dead.
He is mega out of here.
F.
But he's Warthog, so whatever.
Yep. Okay, so no, the reinforce would not have been even kind of relevant. Doesn't mean it was not correct to not do it.
Right.
But
My
you
fucking
didn't know
narrative.
that a priori, right?
yep. Everything's a crit, fuel leak, whatever. He's dead. It's fine.
Mill it correctly. My sacred game state.
I'm just looking for weapons failure.
Yep.
Also, this is the point where people get freaked out, but once a ship is dead, those cards are discarded. You can look at all the face down ones. I never have had a reason to really care.
Are you sure about
That
that?
was true
That
in
you can
first edition. I don't know if it's true in second
okay.
edition or not. It might be. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played anything.
It's been a long.
Matter.
I've also never cared enough to look. Is the weird part. Even in 1.0.
You spend this, Chris. Don't even think about it. You don't.
Think about it
Look at
harder.
the greed. The greed in this man.
It's preventing 2 damage. Spend it. Oh my god, what are
Oh
you
my
doing?
goodness.
What is wrong with you, Chris?
I'm so unhappy.
This is console fire.
Man, I love that no reinforced Bosk.
Yep, I mean, that's why there was no spin. It's like, I don't know how much damage on an arc is worth the damage on Bosk, but I know it's more than 1. I don't know if it's 2 or not, but it might be.
And you get to see what's in the box.
Losing the lad here so you don't get the rerolls hurts,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm assuming it's shooty backy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So do you keep Warthog until the end of the round?
Yeah. And any other ship, too. There's no charge
Yeah.
limit on or anything. So if an arc
Wow.
died, it would still stick around.
Wow, Warthog is really good.
True.
Huh.
Oh look, you didn't roll any eyeballs on that ship that you saved your eyeball.
Weird.
Yeah, never do that. Come on, man. If you're
I don't
preventing
know.
2 damage, you don't.
No, alright, hang
Save
on.
that.
Wait, let's fight. There are definitely some situations where, like, so let's say...
Sure, in this case, in this particular
Okay.
case,
It's like,
you.
it's definitely correct sometimes. Oh,
Right,
I don't know
never
that I
correct
agree still.
ever.
I have to think about it more.
Schrodinger's damage.
Yeah, preventing 2 damage, like, what are the odds that you're going to need to spend
So
the
let's say
focus when
you
have
were
the 2 dice?
guaranteed
Oh.
to roll 1 focus on offense. you would always I would always trade 2 damage on an arc for 1 damage on Bosk. Also, this revenge shot is a real tragedy.
Oh,
It looks-
see, now you're spending it.
True. Right. So if you were guaranteed roll a focus on offense, you would always keep it on offense there. I think if you were guaranteed, if you're guaranteed to roll 2, you always would, obviously. But the odds of rolling 1 on 4 dice are really high. It's like I think I would trade if I could trade at the start of the game, pick up both arcs and pick up Bosk, I would. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what just happened there? Because there were 9,000 different flips of dice
Yeah,
and stuff.
so Bosk counterattacked the arc and hit it for 4.
You evaded 1.
But
Okay,
Bosk.
can we scroll back there?
Yeah.
I want to see that again.
Oh, sorry, hit it for 3. Yeah, sure. So
Yeah, but you flip a crit too, so.
yeah, because he rolled 2 crits.
Yeah, scroll.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's 2 crits, 2 hits, 1 crit. Sorry. So the shield goes away, a
shield
card
card
happens,
face
and then a
up.
crit. Yep.
But you rolled an evade.
Yes. Okay. Bosk rolled this hit. There's a hit down here, hiding in the corner. This guy. It's hard to see.
Bosk got-
I didn't
yeah.
see that hit. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's-
there was
that's
it was
where
2
I
crits
got
coming
confused.
through, and then
Yep.
you split one of them. So
Yeah,
it was
okay.
2 hits and then 1 crit. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that hit in the bottom corner over there.
Ah,
and I didn't
okay.
notice the little sleight of hand there going around. Okay.
Yep. Don't worry, I
Okay,
was
so
confused
you
too, as you can
You
watch.
just rolled like 3 hit. Okay, cool.
And D
He's-
is
it is
very tan
beautiful.
from Hawaii.
No, the chroma
That's
key is really
moisturized.
screwed up because colorblind people are using dice.
Okay.
But yeah, so the funny thing is, so that exchange was obviously very unfortunate. But I'm fine with it, basically.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know if I should be fine with it, but like, whatever.
It could have gone better, but yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's,
if you didn't. If
I
you
mean,
didn't,
I think if at the start of the game, you could have guaranteed that you would have gotten this engagement, you'd have been pretty happy with it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it would
Ignoring
have
the
been a-
actual, like ignoring the dice, like that's basically what you wanted, because Anakin has free reign now.
Yep, like we'd rather it be an arc rather than Warthog, of course.
Yeah, of
But-
course.
I mean, 2 Bosk shots plus a Torp is gonna kill something, so whatever.
yeah, and the arc that is damaged severely just gets behind Bosk this turn
Right.
and is fine. Like nobody shoots at this arc that is getting behind him because
That arc,
like,
I mean, the damage arc is the one that's that at an angle, right?
Yes. Yeah,
the
this
front
is
one.
it's this guy. This is Mr. Damage.
Yeah, so it just goes forward and tries to basically bump into the hawk and then rear shot boss.
I want to grab you guys' opinions on actual like specifics for maneuvers this turn too, but I need like 15 seconds. Sorry. So use your brains or talk. Do whatever you want. Dad's gone for a
Okay.
second.
Okay, so
This makes me realize how much I really didn't like Anakin because he's definitely like right behind prime thermal territory now.
yeah,
At the end of the world, just sucks.
yeah.
Well, the cool,
like
yeah, I mean the
Anakin does a hard
you get a
turn here
poke, which
and
is always
avoids the
nice.
thermal, so he can figure it out.
Yeah, it's just it's far more limiting.
Okay, and D did use electronic baffle, so
this is the part. I mean,
Bosk
this is the
at
part
2.
where this is the part where this is one of the this is like the where bombs are actually kind of neat. Is that they kind of the zoning potential, not so much
Mhm.
the just guaranteed to do damage. Haha, chase me.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're like a real zone threat, right?
Yeah, it's like a real
Um,
zone threat, which is cool. It
I
makes
guess
you
this is
take
my-
decisions.
Slight aside since Dad's gone.
Nope, Dad's back, but I'll listen to your
Oh,
side
no,
anyways.
no.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I
like
was just gonna say my only complaint with the new fair bombs is that they zone so well that a smart play like it can cause huge disengagements for long periods of time.
Yeah,
yeah, like right now Anakin cannot roll left, do a hard 3 left turn, and boost because hey, there can be bombs there. So there better be at least one bomb
you
there.
can't. You don't know that. You can't know that.
So he has to kind of play it a little cagier, hang out a little bit farther back. Yeah.
All right, so we're pause champing now that we're back. All right, so I heard here this is obviously a 3-turn, right? Well, I'm gonna draw that legibly. This is a 3-turn. There's no reason to do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
but a 3-turn. And then you're saying, right, if there's no bombs, roll in, 3-turn, boost, whatever, land over
or
here.
focus, whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
and if there are bombs, you can roll out, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, cool. All right, what's going on over here, though? I think these decisions are much harder. So what are these
So-
I
up
think
to?
Arc, you want to go forward and try and catch the Hawk in a bump and then rear shot boss.
All right, the arc.
The damaged Arc.
Okay.
Can the arc get 4K is my question.
Yes.
okay.
This was range 3. I measured out, so that fits. That
Okay, so if he could get a 4K, I 100% do a 4K
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Which,
If you knew a 4K fits, then I would 100% 4K.
Yeah, 4K would be super nice.
okay. How about this guy? So this is 4K. We'll start
The one
writing these
forward, who
down.
cares?
that guy wants to make it so that Bosk can't use Greedo. So, like, fly into Bosk, basically, do a 3-bank into Bosk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was thinking that sounds
So
pretty
that
good,
would
too.
put you like, I don't know, here-ish.
Because boss baffled, so he's going to stop again, right?
Yeah, or
he
he
did
can.
baffle. And Bosk baffled, and he only has 1 health left,
Right.
according to the
Oh,
overlay.
shit.
So, yeah, you just don't want Bosk to shoot this turn.
Yeah, you have no reason for boss to shoot, so you just bump and you fly into him.
Yeah, and then you're trading range 1 shots with Tell, which is also fine.
And Tell basically can't do anything because Tell's stressed and facing that way.
Stressed and strained.
Sure.
True.
I just mean your range 1 shot is even more potent for
Yeah.
no apparent reason.
Well, I just assume it's Tell's going to do like a blue, so yes,
Yeah,
but
but
true.
it has
Correct.
to do like a 1 straight then, right?
Yeah, you
can't
have
bank
no
in.
right to press your blues. So Tell going straight means Tell's not getting a shot this turn. And
All Tell can
has-
do is
Yep.
just straight and then move the turret.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So
Which
that's the
is,
call.
oof, pretty rude down. Yeah.
And jump master dials.
Yeah, it's
now.
not. We're deep into the penalty box still.
Bad
Yeah.
luck. Couldn't even keep my white talon, my white sloop. Yeah. Those all seem like correct and good moves.
We're getting
and
there.
Scum is, I mean, Scum is.
Man,
Yeah.
I have to. I don't know if it's really appreciated enough that because of the way the system phase works with Adas, that you literally get to see these bombs before you make any choices.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, I'm just saying it again, not because we don't appreciate it, but for the audience too. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, there's a whole
Yeah,
range band of movement.
you get to fully react to whatever they're doing.
Yep. You get supernatural reflexes against stuff before you in the system phase, which is a very
Mhm.
specific set of things, but that's a pretty good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're a 6, that means basically everybody.
All right.
And
So
there's
I'm over here
your,
doing
Oh
that.
wow, what a
Quality
cool little note-taking pad. Those are neat.
Look at this blatant cheating on stream.
True.
You hate to see
I-
it. Well,
I
it
just
would be
used
gold
my-
spotting otherwise, right?
I just used my notepad today to take a Italian order that when we were ordering out for dinner.
Dude, those
Oh,
things were
nice.
the best investment that has ever happened for X-Wing anything.
For like
I think
$6.
so. Yeah.
It's glorious.
Man, look at D Slow playing here.
True.
I love the stop, and then he has to figure out what the other 2 dials are with his like crappy contracted scout dial, and the definitely not going 1 forward or something with his hawk.
Oh, yep, there's a bomb.
All right,
All right.
so it's decision time. One bomb happens. You have the 3-turn dialed in. Yay or nay?
Nay,
Paul says nay. I
I don't want
Oh.
to take a crit, man. You
It's-
know it's
I
going
don't
to be.
care. I'm not. I if it's just 1 bomb, I probably just YOLO in to start getting more damage.
watching
Like I
Paul
said,
be
the
more
problem that
risk
you-
averse than me in some
I
cases
mean,
is
I
kind of
think-
alarming.
I'm pretty sure.
Makes me
I'm
question all
pretty
my
sure
life
I'm nay
choices.
because like the game's over. The game is over. Why even give him a chance to put yourself back out?
Well, so it's not necessarily over because there's
Like, he
35
has way
minutes
more
left.
points than you do, but
Right, we are on a clock here.
we are on a clock. But
So like one way we lose this game is by killing Bosk, and then one of the arcs dies, and then Anakin doesn't have enough time to kill everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, should not
Man,
have had.
okay, you're in. Okay.
Yep, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm Team Chris when I see
Yeah, it's
one
like, I don't
down.
know that this is correct. I think people in general are too scared of thermals. I think I might be not scared of thermals enough. I don't know where the correct point is. So
Well,
this
after
is
our
what.
practice games, I became like increasingly less worried about
Yeah.
thermals,
So Paul,
like
this is
playing with the
where
barons and stuff.
this is an interesting conversation because you guys said 4K. I really like the 4 straight.
Okay, so you just keep running away
Yeah.
afterward. I like the 4K because then you're in front of Dace, yeah,
Mhm.
whoever that guy is, and then in future moves you're like just kind of flying ahead of him and forcing him to bump while Anakin does annoying things to him.
Yeah. And I think you guys just slam into Bosk here is better than my. So I am concerned about this torpedo / range one shot from Tell.
How is that torpedo happening?
Uh, so if what's it called? So if we're here and he one straights, it's he can either get a range one focus lock shot from one straighting and getting coordinated, or he can what's it called?
But the only way he coordinates is a two. He can't coordinate.
Is the 3 straight not blue on Hawks?
I don't know. I don't have my thing up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that's why this barrel roll happens here. But I think you accomplish everything just as well by just slamming into this,
Yeah,
probably.
just not letting Bosk get a shot is pretty huge.
Yep,
if you
I think
do
so.
that.
And it's going to be not a good shot because,
Oh, it is. It is blue. The 3 straight.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but still, like, just
no, I agree.
not letting Bosk shoot.
Yeah, and
is-
then we got mixed up on what Krayt was where, so let me just save you some time. Okay, everything's fine. Oh, nope, it's not fine yet. Okay, we got there. Because one of them has a damage sensor array.
But yeah, I don't peg him doing the 3 straight.
Yeah, no, I had him on the 1 straight, so I was like, he's not going to coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like the. Yeah, like we said, 3 bank mostly to deprive shots.
I think so. And then it would be nice to have the 4K option available next turn instead of being stressed here.
Mhm.
Although, okay, I will give you, since you didn't bump into Bosk, doing the all-in with Anakin does give you the option to, okay, so if he did stop, you would have
Just PS kill him.
you
Yeah.
would be able
Yeah.
to PS kill him.
I don't really understand this 2-turn here, but
Boy, howdy. Your
yeah.
3 bank also would have just wrecked this.
Yep. Well, maybe it might have cleared over it. I don't know.
And who cares at that point?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. He's not getting any shots anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't understand. There may be some big brain reason to do that, but I don't know what it is.
Looks better now.
True.
Yeah, there's the 1 straight. I was gonna not a lot of options for Tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
tell,
Bank doesn't even have a shot, right? Maybe.
And at this point, you're still rotating, right? Which is
Yeah,
also
well,
stressful.
Yeah, it's a red focus rotate.
I
Which is,
just really.
yep. Living the jump master life.
That's pretty rude down.
Yep.
I
Somebody.
know he was checking the health of everything, but like you kind of have to. Oh, he was just not. He's not stressing for it.
You have to. We'll fix it later.
Okay, I was gonna say
you guys
they
fix it
only
in
have
post, yeah.
Yep.
they only have an ability to rotate.
Yep.
After. Okay. Yeah, at this point you don't need to boost, right? You just focus or whatever.
Oh, all right. Yep. Somebody's correcting the focus rotate. Blah blah blah. Okay. I chose focus. Got strange from a bomb. Cool. We got there. And then what? This is range 1. That's what we missed. Yeah. Oh well. You know what? We'll roll the Chad die for it. Oh, there we go.
Oh no, guys, it's strain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this isn't bad. Maybe I don't know. I always get worried that I'm gonna just eat a crate.
I've
for no
taken
reason.
the direct hit from the thermal, so I feel you. It's not a good feeling. Yep. Okay, and then here's the question for you. So now where Anakin's actually shooting things, so we have to decide ion cannon or just primary into.
Ion.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I-
think you just Ion here.
He's got a modifier. Like, what are you doing? Oh, this was a range 1 ion? Oh my
Yes.
god, okay.
Oh
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, he's getting ioned.
Hey,
Yep.
Which hence why I put the ion tokens down.
Please take
Cool.
this.
And if you did do a regular shot, even if you did get 3 hits there, he natty rolled 2 evades.
Right, it
So
would
you
just
would
do
have
a
only done 1
damage.
damage anyway. So obviously
Yep.
we were correct.
My dice. Yeah, and now Dace is in like super jail, which is really funny.
So this is where, like, if you did the K turn,
this-
I would
Ooh.
like off Bosk's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
ooh. Yeah, you did not want Bosk to shoot that round.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
Like, I super do not care if Tel Traverse shoots.
Off Tell.
Oh, honey.
What is Tel doing?
This is
Oh,
Dace.
this is
Oh,
Dace.
this is Dace. Okay, yeah.
God,
Okay.
the one straight prison for Dace is pretty good. Just like,
Yeah,
no, I like being here.
I love this.
Every time an arc rolls a dodge, your opponent dies a little.
True.
Just
And then you shoot the one that has the back shot first. Yeah.
Yep. So this is where I like your suggestion of the 4K instead of the 4 straight, because this shot would be much more likely to connect.
because you die a little bit if he evades here.
It sure does.
True.
Oh,
Okay, fine. I'll take the 4 die shot into him.
Yep.
thanks. I hate it.
Made him do it. Got to make him. It's a not a optional trigger. You have to reveal Zam.
Get out of here.
Look at you waving your hand. Get out of here.
Get him out.
So yeah, you're in a pretty good spot here. Like, your arcs are on fire, but he's doing like a sloop next turn with Tel Travera, so he's not going to get any mods. And Dace is stuck going 1 forward, which you can do whatever you want to do about that.
Right.
Like, you can just decide, I don't want Dace to move, so I'm just going to stay here as my
Yeah,
arc if
I
you
actually
want.
just like the 1 forward because if he gets cute and thinks he's gonna bomb and get away from it, you're like, no.
No.
Yeah, I actually genuinely like just 1 straighting bump on purpose to see what, just to let him know
Just
You're
yeah,
not stuck-
maintain dominance. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
the,
stuck in here with you.
the other arc just does like a 1 bank to the left, and you just burn Dace down real quick
Right.
while
Yeah.
Tel is bouncing around.
Yeah, the arc isn't going to die.
Tell, hey,
Well, the
Tell
arc
has to do a
might-
3-point turn here.
I guess the arc could die from Dace, but not likely.
Yeah. Well, so we talked about it some before, but after the event, it was like, oh, maybe tractor beam would be better on Anakin instead of ion cannon. And like, I don't. After this game, it's like, yeah, the ion cannon was nice here, but man, I'm just trying to imagine what the world where this is a tractor. That was a tractor beam shot instead, and now suddenly Dace is tractored at range 1 in front of that arc. Looks like. I mean, granted, it still probably would have shot at Boss, because I probably wouldn't have even put him there. But yeah, so never mind.
That's a good statement.
Oh, did Bosk's Dead Man switch do 1 to
Yep.
Tel Travera
And to my
okay,
arc. Yep.
Nice,
Got him.
Hence the extra half points for the other arc.
nice.
So, all right, this is. I'm gonna spoiler you. This is Chris has not played enough Edis before this event to do the right thing here. But what do you guys think is the correct set of system phase and maneuvers here? So, like you
They have
said,
1
right?
banks, right?
Tell is slooping. No, they do not have 1 banks.
They have 2 banks
They have
only.
2 banks.
I haven't taken any damage yet. I probably just barrel roll left, 2 bank in because I blocked Dace.
Mm-hmm. So that would
Yeah.
put you like what? Roll over here somewhere. 2 bank.
then,
Or
like,
just
a
try to line
literal-
up a bullseye range 1
Yeah,
shot
it's a straight
there.
bullseye
Yeah.
primary right into his ass with the other arc firing this turn.
And you just accept any bombs that
Yeah, I was gonna say
happen
that's
to...
gonna get you double bombed. I don't know how much you care.
Um,
Or rather, it's not going to. It could. If Dace is a bad enough dude to accept getting double bombed.
Well, if Dace drops 2 bombs, you can alter the plan, and instead of
Yes, this is true.
you can just
yeah, because you
boost
could go to the right.
left,
Yep.
or you
If you've dialed, yeah, if you've
You
dialed,
can, yeah,
in the
you could even
bank
just
to the
roll
you
right and
can- and just leave.
leave. Yep, that's true. Okay, good point. Yep, I like
I
it.
mean, it just gets weirder if that's what happens. But
Right, it's like, sure,
you can.
if you
You
want to
don't
bomb
have to
you,
eat the
you
2
do you.
bombs. Yeah.
yeah, you roll right, you 2
Because
bank,
you also-
you boost, and you go by.
You also
Enjoy your bomb
have
health.
you also have boost left, hard one right, roll in the bullseye, but whatever.
I don't like that one just because there's
I
no
think the
out
decloak
for the
is better
bombs.
though.
Yeah, I think I like the bank 2 right. I think I
Yeah.
agree
Well,
with that.
I'm excited to see your responses to what I'm up to. And then, like you guys said,
Are you doing some kind of Talon roll nonsense?
so
Please
this
tell
is
me you're not.
happening, and then we're like banking up here or whatever,
Or
right?
like a
Yeah.
or a decloak 3 hard. That's not bad either.
Yep, something like that.
Like,
I
if you're
am
doing a
curious to
Talon
see if
roll,
he's a bad enough dude.
oh my god.
This is the part I'm anxious about.
Actually, the funny thing is the Talon roll there's pretty good. Like left boost, Talon roll right. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, that's not
it's not
terrible.
bad.
But then
It's just a
you're-
lot of
you're
force.
also-
Alright,
Yeah,
oh,
let's
he is
go.
a
a
Gee,
bad
let's
enough
fucking
dude.
go.
But
Accept
you-
your fate. Let's go.
The Talon roll also puts your butt to Teltravera next turn, so I don't like that plan.
I actually really liked my plan if it worked. It doesn't though. Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's not so good.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I thought it was a pretty good plan.
Well,
Oh,
hello.
does that fit?
Hello there.
No,
bet
no,
it
it doesn't. By a very small amount. Well, I guess you can't see from here, but yeah, it's like, oh, we're offside a little bit. That's not happening. Well, good luck.
Oh no, did you 4K?
No, don't be ridiculous. Yeah, he did.
I was to say, if that boost fit, that 4K looks fucking genius.
Yeah, it would have been really good.
Look at this one straight.
Nope.
I'm not trapped in here
Accept.
with you, Dace.
I accept.
Nope.
All right, here 3-point turn. Here it is.
Nope.
Sloop.
Just give him some time.
God.
Beep, beep, beep.
There's a timeline where the 4K you get clipped with an eye on. You just absolutely dumpstered.
Oh man.
Whatever.
Oh.
We're vibing. It's
Wow.
fine.
Okay, well,
It's
at
fine.
least
He's going to spend a force. He's going to take a
No,
focus.
they can't.
No.
There's too many friendly ships nearby.
it's too many
Oh
giant arcs.
no!
Yeah, it's not a.
Well, at least you're not getting hit by bombs.
We're not gonna hit by bombs. We have a range 1 forced lock shot.
Oh, you have that lock.
Well,
from
look, no,
forever
you spend the
ago.
force, and then you just don't get a stress, and you do something else,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Good thing you're not strained here.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Easy.
Whatever.
Never
Just
concerned.
Plow crits into him.
Okay, so just your arc and gets hit by 1, and Dace gets hit by 2. That's not too bad.
Nope.
There it is. Eat it, Dace.
Oh no, you're strained.
Oh, no, strange.
Not the arc. All right, give me that second bomb. Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, hit both.
Mm.
Nope.
Mm.
That's awesome.
I'll give you credit.
Is this the part of the story where Dace gets PS kill and nothing matters?
I'll give him credit. He's a bad enough dude to just drop bombs. Fuck
No,
this
no,
whole
yeah, no,
planet.
no. Look, as much as we're kind of dicking on D or whatever, like the decisions he's making when it comes to stuff like this, or like the knowing to make bad decisions, like making the hard choices at the right time, like he's doing that. Which
Speaking
is
of,
really
Oh, so do you
Jesus
target lock there?
Christ.
Do
Oh my god.
cool. Are you a bad? He turns out bad enough dude.
Yeah, okay, well, he's dead. Cool. Now, whose target lock is on Anakin?
that is boss. Let's.
No, boss.
I don't
okay.
remember. It's someone's.
Okay. So
Good
it's not
lord.
it's not
No, it's
Teltravera.
Tells, right?
Oh no, it
It's
is.
Tells 3.
I don't remember. I don't know.
About to
Well,
find out.
We'll at least get the shot, so we'll see what happens.
Because if it's a target lock from Tell, that's going to be a proton.
Oh no, he turned his friend upside down. Other way around. He's sad now. I want you to be happy. Be Rue up. Don't be Rue down.
Oh, so that's out. Easy.
Clench.
God, never concerned.
Yeah, if you ended up taking a proton torpedo at that point, then
Oh,
you deserve
no.
anything you get.
That
but,
is
yeah.
true.
And then just a pointless ion shot. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And then, did I even bother taking this arc shot? Probably not, knowing me.
It was
Hey,
out
on
the
the
butt,
bright
range
side,
3. No, yeah, you didn't bother.
on the bright side, if you had done my 2 bank, you would have had to eject, and it
Real
was
talk.
Anakin's shot that killed him.
I
so-
should have taken that. That is actually
Look
a
how
mistake.
cool. Look how cool your
Just
formation
because it
is.
rounds to 0 does not mean you shouldn't take it. Yeah, man, that 4K would have been a lot better if that boost fit. It would have been really hot. Yeah, it was going to be really nice too, because Tell couldn't clear the stress over the gas cloud and all sorts of cool fun stuff, but yeah, no, not happening.
Yeah, now Anakin basically has to kind of bail for a little bit.
Would you
Because
say that Tell's not having a cool game or a fun time?
I would.
I'm not going to lie. The
Yeah,
2
I'm
bank
kind of
hide behind that cloud tempts me.
same.
yeah, I like it.
Just, no, fire your proton. Go ahead. There it is. We got a 4K eventually.
We
There
got
it
two
is.
of them.
Oh, sorry, Anakin. Yep.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, your choices with Anakin are either completely bail here and be like, whatever, the arcs will do what the arcs do, and if I get till halved, then
Yeah.
before the arcs die, then cool, I won.
Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't commenting because I know what happens, but yeah, I think like a 3-turn hide behind this cloud is like pretty much just obviously the correct choice, right? Just stay
Yeah.
stressed, it's fine.
3-turn evade. Just
The
chill.
problem
Saying-
is we're still strained, which is kind of scary, but it's only so
I
scary.
was thinking a 2 bank, you could clear your stress and still probably be behind that cloud. But
Oh,
that's
I
what
think
it
the
looked
2
like.
bank sounds great.
there's also the 5 straight.
Yep. Very true.
True.
Or, Paul, consider this. We could
Not like
misjudge medium bases and
Oh,
slam into our own
no.
arc.
my god. Okay, so you're terrible at this game.
Yes,
That's
correct.
No.
Good lord.
Be clear to anyone viewing, I meant the 2 bank the other direction.
So
No, like I said,
I
my main
really- I
takeaway from this
appreciate
game
this.
was, I really need to pay attention and stop having less fun. And then just because I've won the game doesn't mean I can stop paying attention.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
bro.
You
of
could
the
rapidly
century.
stop winning the game any second now, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that is not an arc or not a target lock from. Oh no, it is. This is
Yeah.
a torpedo.
Yes, this is a
Jesus.
torpedo.
Okay, okay, this is bad.
Yeah, no, not a good look.
This is really bad.
Concern. Oh wait.
Oh,
never,
yeah.
never, never, never in danger.
Earned, deserved, never deserved it more.
That might be the most earned. Get good. Yeah, I agree.
What is?
Whole
Hold
breach,
on,
yeah,
you're
that's
never
horrible.
getting shot again, so who cares?
The most.
Well,
earned
I mean, with my
deserved,
current
at
record, we might be getting shot again.
Sure, actually, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love how the rest of us assumed, oh, hull breach, non-relevant crit on Anakin. You're like,
But no, in all seriousness, the funny thing is like, so we're clinching and puckering in that, and obviously I was too. I went back and looked at what the odds of getting hit by a single modded torp are in an ETA, and it's like, yeah, you take about a damage. It's just kind of embarrassing
sounds
that that's
about right.
true. Very sad.
Wow.
I mean, obviously we expect to spend a force or something, but yeah.
I think you would have spent 3 force
I
not
was,
to be hit by
I
that
might have
torpedo.
spent more than 3, in fact.
Oh, here's the really cool part of the ETAs where you can just kind of roll out of the way so the arcs don't bump into you. Neat.
Yep.
Yeah, you could do a left boost here and have your arcs do fun stuff and block tell or shoot
Tell's charges
tell
are
or
done,
Right.
right? He's just got ions.
Oh, yeah,
He's
just
got,
ions.
he has a torp left because of
Oh,
cutthroat.
okay.
Oh yeah, Cutthroat gave him one
Oh,
back.
cutthroat.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I don't know how much, like, it is nigh impossible to lose this game at this point. So
But you keep trying.
I'm gonna skip through some, and we'll see if there's any turns that are actually interesting. I don't think there are because, yeah, like you said, oh cool, we can just make room with Anakin, get some shots, blah blah blah. Anakin can run away.
And you can also get
Right,
behind
and
Tell
we're
now.
just perma blocking Tell,
Yeah,
right, and
Tel's
then
just in hell.
taking
Right.
shots at him with arcs. Yeah.
You just chip him away slowly but surely.
Yep.
And Anakin never to be seen again.
Right, and the reason why I'm skipping through this is, so it hasn't happened yet, but if Tell gets half points, um, Anakin alone is worth more than him, and it's almost guaranteed that he's going to get half points at this point. So yeah, like this is no longer an interesting game.
I'm a little surprised he's not half points already with this many shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is, yeah, now. So, right, like, so now both arcs can die, so I officially just don't care. I mean, obviously, you still have to pay attention and play, but, like, there's no risk that you're ever going to lose the game or any of these turns. And, this turn, I wanted to get you guys feedback on. This one stuck out in my head. Yeah. So, I'm not actually sure what the, like, correct thing to do here is or was. So this is where everything finished. So Tell has 5 health here. This arc has 2 hull, and this arc has 4 hull. So like, what do you like when you have 8 minutes left in the game? I guess. So is the plan? Should it be to just like to turn this arc here? So I did a 4K, right? Just to try to stress Tell out if he's gonna shoot me. But right, it could have been a like 2-turn here.
I think
it could have been a 2-turn here, right? Like, there's plenty of reasonable things to do.
Yeah, I would have turned right with him.
Yeah, I would have turned right as well.
Yeah, right turn sounds good
Because if you turn the other way, I still haven't looked at their dial, but like a 1 turn, I'm assuming they still have, so you could like land it and not be able to shoot you, not bump. Where if you turn the other way, because of their shitty dial, they have no real option but to bump you. Yeah, they have a 1-turn white.
Because basically the only move that Tell can make right here is he can like 4K or he could turn left. Like those are basically his only options.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense.
So the 2-turn right is good there because you basically catch either one, and then either way, if he attacks you, he's gonna be stressed.
4K and turn left is actually Tell's only option every turn of the game.
Right. Yes.
And also when you're
the
turning
one
back
bank
towards
right
your,
or whatever.
the idea is you want to turn back towards your friends. So by the time he's done chasing after the arc basically cycles out and the other one comes in.
Yeah, this should have gotten flipped over at some point. The whole breach or whatever. Doesn't super matter, but there's no reason not to. Like, I think I just went there and didn't take an action, but
right.
Like, you should still.
Yeah, if you took like one more random hit and it ended up being an accidental direct hit because
it's like, oh well, now I lose. Neat. Yeah, the kind of silly thing about you guys were right. So 1 turn, whatever. The kind of silly thing here is like it's not even worth chasing Tell and shooting him because he's just going to respawn with 2 hull left, and I won't get to him before the game ends. So I'm really just wasting time, just keeping as much MOV as I can.
And Anakin's actually ironically on the wrong side of the board for a respawn. So.
Yep. Which is I think is what makes that turn you guys had better too, because it just continues block hell versus this. I wanted to stress him so that he can't turn left again, and this arc can have some more free time. This arc over here, but I think you guys were correct.
Oh no, a dead arc.
Yep.
My MOV.
Yeah, I think we're still at rounding error, but the reason I like the 2-turn is bump hell and like it diminishes their shots, so they can't ever do anything.
Right, and if I'd been thinking the front arc is just an ion cannon, it's going to take 2 shots to kill him with that if he's not willing to focus rotate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think any of the rest of this is interesting.
So, actually, why did Anakin even make the right turn there? Why didn't you just go 5 forward into the corner?
Oh, there's a lot of time left, so I mean, I can always boost and 3-turn left or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's really
like, are you planning on moving back into the fight with Anakin? I'm assuming no.
No. I just wanted to keep Tell stressed so that it was really hard to go after Anakin. So at least if he somehow gets a shot because I do something horrible, he's stressed. Right. So as you can see, more not shooting Anakin happening. Very cool.
Thanks, Tell. Very cool.
Yep. And
Oh, you're getting ioned here.
oh, the arc. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, he gets very ioned. As you can see, we're both very checked into the game at this point. D decides he doesn't want to chase Anakin for 2 more minutes, and I don't blame him. Yeah, and that's the end.
Can't just concede.
So aside from like one very bad mistake in terms of what's it called? Like oh yeah, I'm still in this game. I still have to play it. I can't just slam into my own arcs.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
obviously horrible. And like misjudging a boost. I think those were the 2 like horrible mistakes. Like, well, one was horrible. One was like that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think you could have done your original, the first round of combat a little bit better.
Yeah, back up like
Like, 'cause,
here.
yeah, one of your arcs had no shot here.
Yeah, I think
and-
that
Yeah.
first engage could have gone better.
Yes, these guys should be set up this way, and Anakin should be over here. I think is the high level.
But I think this game is largely a case of like you guys both kind of fucked up, but he just fucked up more.
Well, I don't even know that I don't know that I agree with that. This is such a list. Like this was basically a buy from list building, right?
It's not a great like matchup to begin with. Like this wasn't exactly like D's game to lose anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
what, like a 30-70 in your favor, probably?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like
this is
that.
this is a rough one either way. But I think
Yeah, like there's
the-
definitely significantly, especially in this initial approach with Bosk, he should have every token in existence and not be, out on his
Yeah, 'cause
own while this jump
I
master
think
does nothing.
realistically, his win condition, like his path to victory, is he basically has 2 main paths to victory. One, he chews through the arcs and the lat and emerges relatively unscathed, and then basically forces Anakin to basically reverses the whip and forces Anakin to come after him. Or he catches Anakin with his pants down and just blows him up, which one of those is a lot less likely than the other one is.
Right.
And I think the problem, like the main problem he did, is that he eventually, like this turn here, he tried to have both win cons active.
Mhm.
When he should have just committed
Yeah,
to
just
one.
picked one.
And then the turn,
Right.
like the turn after, he correctly identified that he has to kill something, so he just turned to the arcs, which were easier to kill.
Right, and got the
But I
torp.
think by then it was already kind
Like
of
once
out of
Tell
hand.
goes here and gets the torp on Warthog, like that was good. But imagine if that had happened. Like let's say
Right,
Tell
with
isn't
Warthog,
here.
Yeah. So imagine if Warthog
Tell
is
is
where that focus
here,
token
right?
is.
Or let's
Yeah.
redraw. Right, actually, let's take the real time machine. So how we got here was this. So let's take the real time machine and put Bosk like here, right?
Mhm.
Tell here, or maybe even here, and then Paylob somewhere in the middle here.
I'd say Tell is closer to Bosk, not way the hell out
Yeah.
over there.
So you're
Yeah, I
like
think
somewhere in this
Tell where the
space,
focus
right?
token is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just worried. Like I don't want him to. The reason I hedge some is like here is actually probably not good because this gas cloud's in the way of his
'Cause
only
the gas,
move to
right?
clear. But if he's something, even if they're set up for a literal joust, like this is probably even better than any of that stuff. And then
Yeah.
you could have what's his name, Dace dicking around back here,
Mhm.
and then at least right, like so these arcs come out, but then I suddenly can't. Like this guy comes out straight, this guy banks, and Warthog is here, right? But suddenly these arcs can't like just 4K over you because you're a large base and you're in the way.
Right.
So yeah, I mean I think that's the high level for me is like these should have come out in a diagonal line instead of a straight line. Anakin should have been further out over here, and then these should have had an approach that wasn't just a architecture diagonal joust from Boomal's charts.
Right. And yeah, like I said, like the high level, I think, is probably where things fell down. And I do want to make sure that I'm going to give D credit where it's due, where he identified that things were not going well, and he made a commitment.
Yep.
Like even like I do want to give credit where it's due.
Yeah,
'cause
you're
most players
saying
wouldn't
here,
do like the too
right?
hard. Basically, the too hard right with the jump
Yeah.
master. I think most players wouldn't
Right.
do.
I was fully expecting him to like one bank here and just hope,
Same.
because that's what most people do basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that
I
two-turn.
do want to give credit where it's due for correctly identifying that things are out of hand or getting out of hand
Right, like because
and adjusting.
that one bank lock Anakin is why Warthog like two-straighted and locked him so that he couldn't jam Anakin.
Yeah.
But that meant that when he got this 2 turn in, he got a torp in with no reinforce here, when this arc could have been the one to pull the reinforce off. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was like funny like layers of incorrect decisions that got us to almost correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Were there any other
There's
points?
also, just the idea that, especially at an event like this where we have been out of touch, out of practice, out of time, whatever, like for so long,
Hmm.
that like even not to say that Chris Allen's a really good player, but even really good players like fuck up a lot, right?
True.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the only other one that you messed up a little bit was when you should have just bumped into Bosk with that
Yes,
other
that's a good
guy.
point. Yeah, it's
Not,
just
Yeah.
not,
slammed in with this guy right here. It should be like
yeah.
slammed in here or whatever.
Mhm.
When Bosk has
Definitely.
1 health left, just be like, okay, you're just not getting shots. Even if Bosk had more than 1 health left, just be like, if I can just have you not shoot for a round or two while I get behind you, that's fine.
Yeah, because what could have happened there, right, is so this guy gets Ioned this turn, and then suddenly, he gets blocked there, and then Anakin goes and kills Bosk while the arcs kill
Mhm.
this. If, let's say that Bosk had 2 or 3 health left, or, as happened, like this guy just missed a shot. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, I think the double bomb here was good. It felt stupid, or
I
like it
agree.
looked
No, I think
stupid,
it was good
but
because
if he doesn't bomb there, he immediately loses the game, right? If
No, yeah.
right.
if
So what D has to make, what D did a couple times this game, is that he made hard decisions that might have looked bad on paper, but or like bad, like in isolation, but because of the situation, because of the game state where he was, and that like he's losing, and it doesn't reflect it in the points, but he's in trouble, and he's been in trouble for a long time. Willing to sacrifice those points on Dace to get damage on Anakin is 100% worth it.
Yeah, and it's like we both know that nothing's moving here, right? And then this arc is gonna one bank, and
Yeah,
he should be expecting, some Anakin should have a
some
bullseye
default
arc on him somewhere,
should
right?
be
If it's
there,
like this
right?
or like this, or let's say this 4K fit over here, right? Um, if this fit, that was just really unfortunate. There's nothing you could do about it, but
Well, and plus, if he even if Anakin, after having planned some kind of like decloak shit, even if Anakin does see the bombs and then commit to a full disengage, he's up on points
yeah,
at
that
that
just
point, so
buys you
he's
another
actually
turn.
just taking time off.
Yep. And then, if Tal is trading shots with what's it called?
Yeah. So and if if he gets to a point where Anakin's disengaging so much that he's
Yeah.
had time to kill 1 or 2 arcs, then the game becomes different. Yeah.
Yeah, like so let's go into the theoretical world where, these bombs get dropped and Anakin goes, "All right, like boost left 3 turn out." Like,
He
just
goes somewhere where
totally
he's not going to
fucks
be fighting
off.
for a turn or
Right?
two.
What happens? So Tal trades shots with this arc and comes out roughly even-ish. Or sorry, Dace trades shots here. And now suddenly this Jumpmaster's up here facing here and has like 2 torps ready to get coordinated focus
Mhm.
lock shots into arcs. So,
Yep, and
yeah,
then
I think it was a good call.
really quickly things get a lot scarier because the arcs start dropping.
Right, and it's like it's a lot harder to kill Dace even if he's low on health when there's a jump master getting, just has a perma torp ready to go for you if you ever show up nearby. But yeah, I mean, the Anakin play of this game was sloppy would be a compliment for this short story. So I'm happy to say that my takeaway from this game at the time was, oh, time to get my act together, and it did get better. Like it was a lot better the later games, but yeah,
It turns out game 3 after not playing for a year and a half,
it's not a good look.
it's not your best play. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm trying to remember how many games of Idas we had before this, like on an actual table. I think this was game 5 of me playing an Ida. Yeah. Oh, it's like I don't know. It's not. I don't think making excuses is correct. Like, but it just felt really bad. Thankfully, thankfully, I don't know if thankfully is the right word. It's a lot better now. But man, yeah, Eaters are horrible nightmare fuel cancer. So yeah. Okay. Any other points you guys want to hit on this, or just wrap it up for now?
So the general, 'cause this is something we talked about, Ace plus Gang,
Mm-hmm.
while that's a super fun archetype, it is not an archetype for winning events. Really, is what one of
Yeah.
our things that we kind of came out with, because you just bleed MOV, and if you don't perfectly time your engagement, then you have a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
think that's really it at a high level. I actually think so. I don't like the way you phrased it, but I agree with
Yeah.
you. It's not that it's not a good thing to win an event with. It's not a good thing to make the cut with. Like it has
Mhm.
horrible tiebreaker problems. So the second that
Right.
you're on the so like this was a some 3 and 2s make it. This was never in danger of making the cut as soon it was in like MOV tiebreaker. Actually, I'm curious. I'll go check what my MOV was compared to.
Well, and this goes to another aspect of what we also discussed, which is if you're ace plus gang, the idea is the gang is almost certainly a jousting list, which means that you're sacrificing some amount of joust to have the ace, but you're also not a full ace. So you know what I mean? Like, you're not quite the best at either, and that's also explains why you bleed MOE quicker, because you almost better jousting lists will be a little bit better at jousting and eat away all your MOV, etc. Like, it's just that you're giving up a lot, and it's really bad for the way the tiebreakers
Yeah,
work.
and that's actually where the tractor beam conversation. I don't think you were here for that. That's where it was like, oh well, actually this might be better with a lateral to tractor beam because now suddenly instead of maybe doing a damage to something in the opener, Anakin is like throwing things into range 1 of 2 arcs where they just evaporate. It's like
Mhm.
that might be better, but even then, the way tiebreakers work in this game, this is not a good look. Like the game plan with running this was hit 4 to 5 Bosks in Swiss and laugh your way. Well, the game plan with this was a single elimination tournament cut, and that's a different conversation. But yeah. Yeah, so for reference, my MOV out of this, so I was the bottom 3 and 2 player by over 100 MOV.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had 839 MOV after 3 wins. So yeah, as it turns out, jousting hybrid lists lose a lot of MOV. You win by very small margins.
Weird.
Yeah, because if you go against a pure joust list, they're just going to joust your guys,
Yep.
your 3 guys, and then they'll come out ahead. And if assuming they're ahead on points, then Anakin has to figure out how to claw his way back in, and you'll either barely going to win or barely going to lose.
Right. And yeah, to
And
be
against
clear, you can totally claw your way back, but when
Yeah.
all your wins are by 10 points, you got real problems trying to make it in on tiebreakers.
Yeah, and if you go against a pure ace list, then like you're actually not in a half bad spot just because of all your arcs
Right,
and
there's a
how
lot of
healthy
health to get through.
Well, yeah, what we noticed with your arcs is that having 2 arcs, literally the double-sided arc on each arc, presents a lot of space where the aces just happen to get shot anyway a lot, and they're usually very well modded because of the lat, right? So it does actually pose real problems for like pure ace lists. And they have a lot of health to chew through. A lot of ace lists do, in fact, have to give up a lot of their shots to have like their third ace do 1 shot a turn. And when that hits a 9 health target, you're like, okay, do it again.
And if you
without
never connect with your ion cannon, the game's over.
Right, yeah. Like, and if like any small base ship that's worth more than like 40 points, if you ion it, the game is just instantly over. It's shocking how hilarious it is. And if you ionize like a Zam or a Jango, then the game is ultra over, but in a much more entertaining way. But it's also incredibly unlikely. But yeah, I mean, so like I would never play this list that's that I played here at a tournament with like a hard cut to make. So like I would only play something like this in something that was a graduated cut or just single elimination in the first place. Because in Swiss you're playing the tiebreaker, not the game. It's just the unfortunate reality. But yeah, thank you, Travis. That's a good reminder because it's like, I think not only do I think I prefer this style of thing more, like some hybrid of joust plus int follow up. I think most people do, and I think it's also actively a bad strategy because of the way tiebreakers work. So
I'm pretty much the same team with you. I think this is my preferred. I think it's one of the more interesting things to be doing, right? I mean, that's what the yeet down was too, right? I mean, Vader's not the perfect ace or anything, but he's still an I6, and then you're just trying to joust things into the ground to let Vader finish the game, or countdown finish the game, which is a weird statement, but yeah.
Yep.
I thought
it's a
Vader
really
was
fun
jousting too
archetype.
with that list anyway, wasn't he? Vader
Right.
just charged right.
I mean, yeah.
You were Dale Cromwell.
He's
over
jousting, but he has 3 agility and 3 force, so it's not jousting. All right, it's jousting with style.
Yeah, it's arc dodging. It's huge.
But yeah, I think it sounds like the push to make more things graduated cuts is like there's people listening, which is good news. I think people prefer that anyways. but it also means better things for lists like this. So just things to keep in mind. How much does my list win games by, and how much does my list lose games by, and what's the tournament tiebreaker is a very real question to make sure that you have an answer to before the tournament.
Right, and it's a very binary decision. When it's MOV, this becomes instantly
Like
much
laughable.
worse of a decision.
Don't play it. Yep.
Where if it's not, you can go, well, okay, then you do your matchups, and like I think once I'm out of Swiss, and this looks more like a cut breakdown, this list has good matchups, so I do want to bring this and just make sure I secure the X number of wins I need to get the graduated cut.
Yep. Okay, that's everything I can think of. Any other parting shots to take at my terrible Anakin play while it's here on topic?
Oh, you learned it's not worth beating past Chris up. I mean, it is. It's
I was
funny.
gonna say,
but,
well, hello.
It's fun, but eventually.
But present Chris has learned a lot about his Adas, which is fair and understanding because Adas are certainly a weird ship. Like we talked about, like another thing again, just to really harp on it because it's I don't think people appreciate it. You always you could dial in the 3 turns. You're like, well, you'll hit this bomb. It's like, not if I barrel the other way. Well, how do you know? Well, I'll see if the bombs are there.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier, but I think playing something with pre-movement repositioning, because as painful and as much of a struggle as this is, I played enough supernatural stuff to know how these maneuvers work, which is a big leg up against the people that didn't. Because seeing that stuff and understanding what it means is like a process that takes time. It's like, okay,
Right.
I'm not deciding where my ship is going to be now. I'm deciding where it's going to be later once I've gained X information. And the other odd thing that's not immediately obvious about Edas is the amount of uncertainty you pick up on where your ships is going to be is significantly higher than ships with auto thrusters. So if you're chasing an Eda, despite the fact that it can't double reposition, the fact that it takes an action before its maneuver means that its final possible list of final positions is significantly larger than Kylo's.
Yeah, I think people need, and I'm super agreeing because I remember playing against someone local that had, I just want to try these Adas, and very quickly he figured out what he was doing. I also acknowledged it, and I was playing a Baron, the 6 Barons, and I was like, I just gave up trying to figure out where the Baron, I just did some really generic maneuvers that crisscrossed my Baron's arc slot because I was because he was doing things where his Obi-Wan was slowly getting behind me because he was oh, I bumped, but I wiggled backward before I bumped. I was like, oh god, I see where this end game goes.
Yep.
Eventually I just had to jet out, right? Because he would just wiggle enough behind me that his barrel 1 turns would just be range 1 bullseye on a Baron, which I couldn't allow. So I eventually just had to leave, and I was like, okay, well, all right. But I couldn't figure out where he was going because he didn't know where he was going is the whole point.
Yep, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you sit and think about it, but a barrel roll left, 3 turn left, followed by a boost goes much further than a 3 turn left and then a boost or a barrel roll, in terms of your total left direction. And because you can do that, or you can barrel roll right, 3 turn right, boost right, or you can, right boost, right talon roll, left barrel roll. The set of final positions is very staggering.
Yeah, the probability cloud of where you're going is very wide. It's much larger than it seems.
Yep, and
without truly sitting down and marinating over it.
Thankfully, this is hyperspace, so there's no sense. So it's not. I don't know, it might be degenerate, but it's not. Oh, I'm going to look at your dial and then decide which one of these maneuvers I'm doing. Levels of degenerate.
There's at least there's some honesty involved.
Yeah, and it's I'm not going to sit here.
There's not a lot of honesty though, because when you decloak to block a maneuver that you just saw on their dial, then talon roll over them with a purple talon roll.
Man,
nothing, right?
I played a super. I'm trying to remember his name, but I'm a horrible person with terrible names, so let me double check. The last round of this, I played against Kenny Turner, who I think you know, Chamblee, or Nami did.
Probably.
The name's familiar.
Yeah, it was from
All
around
Texans
there.
look alike.
Yeah, Jesus. But I just remember Cox walked past the table, and then 5 minutes later walked past the table again, and Anakin was on the side edge of the board, a half inch from the board edge with his back facing the board edge. And he just looked at me and looked at the ship and said, wait, how do you even get there? It's let me teach you the ways of our boost talon rolling ship. because like there's like a fire spray in front of him, so it's not like he barrel rolled back or something.
Yep.
It's very silly.
Yes. Like I said, just the ability to look at someone's dial, then, like I said, barrel or boost in front of them to block
Yep.
it, block their dial, and then Talon roll over them
Right.
and take an action afterward.
And sense is free at
is-
those ranges, so yeah,
Yep.
there's not even a cost other than 5 points. But thankfully, it's extended, and if anyone pretends to tell you what's good in extended, you can laugh at them because no one has any idea what's good in extended.
True.
So maybe it's
Like what
bad.
we just talked about sounds really good in extended, but is it good enough in extended? No idea.
All right, we're way off topic though, so I'm
Yep.
ending this. Anything else?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, and actually, so just like you said, Paul, I'm really glad because like that 3 bank into Bosk, no matter how many times I watched this, never would have occurred to me because I was so preoccupied with, keeping Tell from doing anything useful. It's like actually there's a much better maneuver here, entirely. I will fight you on keeping the focus token until the end of time, but the maneuver stuff was very useful. So thank you.
Sure.
All right, see you, nerds.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.